Hi and welcome to SBR Videos. I'm your host Nadia Holtz, and today we'll be covering NCAA basketball odds offer Kansas Jayhawks at 15-1 for title. With us today is professional handicapper Dave Golakov. Dave, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, what's happening?
All good, all good. Okay, so how do we predict this team to fare after losing two of its biggest stars to the NBA? Should we be concerned for the Jayhawks without Andrew Wiggins and Joel Embiid?
Well, I think it's definitely going to be a challenge for them. You know, when you lose two big stars like that, it definitely knocks you down a peg. For most teams, I think I would be genuinely concerned, but this is Kansas, right? This is a team that reloads opposed to rebuilds, and I think it's going to affect them, but it's not as if they were the championship winners last year. They didn't win March Madness anyway, so I think they're pretty much in about the same range. Looking about the Sweet 16, I think, again, had they won the title, I guess perception-wise, this is a different team. Last year, with Wiggins, with Embiid, it should be noted that they were one of the favorites to win March Madness. The perception was that this team is, pretty much one of the teams to beat. They're not going to be in that category this year. They're now retooling, so to speak. They definitely have some players coming back. We know that Kansas definitely has a great track record, but the perception of this team going into the year is that they can win the Big 12, but more like an outside shot to win March Madness than being favored. So the perception has changed, but my point is the end result will be pretty much similar. Last year, not a deep tournament run. This year, not a deep tournament run either.
Okay, two new freshmen are joining the team this season. How are they looking?
Well, I think that's why Kansas is Kansas. Cliff Alexander, Kelly Oubre, added to the teams, added to the holdovers from last year. I think this team is, still one of the teams to beat in the Big 12, if not the favorite. So I think that Kansas, they typically show us that, rebuilding does not take very long. Kentucky is a team that sort of has a lot of one-and-dones. And, they're starting a ton of freshmen or relying on a ton of freshmen each year. Kansas typically, although I should say Kentucky's not doing that this year, but that's what they usually do. Kansas is a team that usually has a few holdovers that sort of bridge the gap or bridge the seasons together. And they have that this year too. So they're going to be a decent team in the Big 12. You mentioned two star guys coming in, or maybe I mentioned those two star guys coming in. And I think they're going to be a pretty good team in the Big 12, which is sort of top heavy, but Kansas is still the team to beat in my eyes.
Okay, and what is your take on the conference projection?
Well, yeah, I guess I was kind of alluding to that. I mean, really, you got Oklahoma, Texas looks pretty good, Iowa State looks pretty good, and Kansas, the thing is, Kansas has won the Big 12, 10 years in a row or something like that. It's pretty hard to bet against them. They are, at least on paper or at first, again, the perception of them is they're not going to be the title contender that they were last year. But I think this is still a pretty good team. Texas has been weak for a while now, so kind of expecting things to come together for them this year. Probably wouldn't bet them to finish ahead of Kansas. Iowa State is up there, but, still been about a half step behind Kansas in recent years. So, Kansas is, they lost two big stars, two guys who went in the top three of the 2014 NBA draft. But I still think this team wins the Big 12 in the regular season. And, as far as March Madness, we'll see how far they go, but probably like a Sweet 16 appearance is where I have them pegged at.
Excellent, Dave. We appreciate your feedback and talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
For SBR Picks, this is Nadia Holtz.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.